The 5 skills every Stoic man must master. There's a reason some men walk into a room and don't have to say a word, yet everyone feels their presence. It's not looks, it's not money, it's not status, it's control. Control over their emotions, their actions, their impulses. Most men never develop this. They react, they chase, they drift. And then they wonder why they're not respected, why they feel stuck, why their life feels out of control. But a Stoic man, he's built differently. Epictetus taught something simple. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. And that sounds basic, but almost no one lives it, because living it requires discipline, awareness, and constant self-control. This isn't about being emotionless. This isn't about pretending nothing affects you. It's about becoming someone who isn't ruled by everything. Because when you master that, your entire life changes. So here are the 5 skills every Stoic man must master. 1. Emotional control. Let's be real, most people are predictable. They get triggered and instantly react. Someone disrespects them, they snap. Something goes wrong, they panic. Things don't go their way, they complain. Now think about this. If someone can control your emotions, they control you. That's not strength, that's dependence. A Stoic man understands this at a deep level. He still feels anger, he still feels pressure, he still feels frustration. But there's a gap between what he feels and how he responds. And in that gap is his power. He doesn't rush to react. He doesn't let emotion make decisions for him. He chooses. And that's what separates him. Because most men are slaves to impulse. But the man who can stay calm under pressure is the man people trust, respect, and follow. 2. Discipline. Here's the truth most people avoid. Your life isn't determined by what you want. It's determined by what you do, consistently. Everyone wants a better life. But very few are willing to live like the person who actually earns it. Because discipline is uncomfortable. It's waking up early when you're exhausted. It's doing the work when there's no reward. It's staying consistent when progress feels invisible, and that's where most people quit. Not because they can't win, but because they can't endure the process. A Stoic man doesn't rely on motivation. He builds systems, he builds habits. He builds a standard for himself that doesn't change based on how he feels, because feelings are temporary. But habits, they shape your entire life. So every time you follow through, even when it's hard, you're not just completing a task, you're reinforcing who you are. 3. Silence. There's a reason powerful men don't talk much. Because they don't need to. Weak men try to prove themselves with words. They overshare, they explain, they seek validation. But the more you talk, the less weight your words carry. A Stoic man understands the value of silence. He observes more than he speaks. He listens more than he reacts. And because of that, when he does speak, people pay attention. But silence isn't just about how you interact with others. It's about your internal world, too. Most people can't sit in silence. They need noise, distraction, constant stimulation. Because silence forces you to face yourself. And most people aren't comfortable with that. A Stoic man is. He uses silence to think, to reflect, to sharpen his mind. And that clarity gives him an edge most people never develop. 4. Detachment. This is where real freedom begins. Most people are emotionally attached to outcomes. They need things to go a certain way to feel okay. If they succeed, they feel good. If they fail, they fall apart. That's a fragile way to live, because you're tying your internal state to things you don't fully control. A Stoic man flips this. He focuses on effort, not outcome. He puts in the work. He shows up fully. He executes at a high level. But once it's done, he lets it go. Because he understands you can do everything right and still lose, and you can do everything wrong and still win. So tying your identity to outcomes is a losing game. Detachment doesn't make you passive. It makes you dangerous because you stop fearing failure. And once you stop fearing failure, you start playing at a different level. 5. Self-respect. This is the skill that holds everything together. Because without self-respect, none of the others last. If you don't respect yourself, you'll break your own rules. You'll make excuses. You'll tolerate things you shouldn't. You'll settle for less than you're capable of. But a stoic man lives by standards, not when it's convenient, not when people are watching, all the time. He keeps promises to himself. He does what he says he'll do. He holds the line, even when it's uncomfortable.